Financing the ART Line Phase 1 for Metro Cebu. This table shows the funding schemes that are possible for an ART system. It is arranged according to its likelihood of being utilized. In addition to funding schemes, government incentives may be provided to attract more potential investors. The most successful source of funding in terms of monetary value for major infrastructure projects over the last several decades have been PPP. This will be the priority funding scheme that will be used in this chapter video. The proposed ART project will be implemented under the amended BOT law of the Philippines. The implementing agency will be the Public-Private Partnership Center. Information on the procedures of its implementation can be accessed through the government's PPP website. Under the BOT scheme, the proponent finances the building of the ART. It then operates the ART. After a concession period of, say, 30 years, the ownership of the ART is transferred to the government. Despite the very high demand for mass transportation projects in the Philippines, very few investors have invested in such projects since the BOT law was implemented in 1990. The main reason is that such projects are rarely profitable to investors. It requires a huge investment, and after the concession period, the investor loses ownership as it will be transferred to the government. For this reason, attracting proponents to invest in mass transportation systems in the Philippines may require additional incentives. One of these is the awarding of land use rights at the stations of mass transportation systems. This is a table showing examples of the infrastructure projects under PPP using the application of land use rights. The Metro Cebu ART will fall under the transport category. This is the zoomed view of the 7 ART alignments previously proposed for Metro Cebu. For this chapter, we will focus only on one line to show how it can be fully financed by the private sector. This will be called the Marco Polo CICC line. These are the 6 stations of the Marco Polo CICC line overlain on a road map. Stations 2 and 4 are private lots. The remaining 4 lots are government lots. Polygons shown in pink are additional areas beside the ART station for commercial development to make the project more attractive to investors. These are the 2 private lots. It will require acquisition or expropriation of lots by the government. Buildings in these areas are of lower costs than other areas. This green area is predominantly a vacant area of the CBP. An ART station here will connect this entire 50-hectare Cebu Business Park to an ART line. Thus, this lot may be donated by the CBP since it will be the biggest beneficiary of this ART line. To show how other cities acquire the right-of-way for ART stations, we use the example of 3 stations in an already crowded neighborhood in Bogota, Colombia. This is the Pablo Station. This is the Manitas Station. This is the Iimani Station. These are the 4 government-owned lots which ART stations are proposed to be located in Metro Cebu. We will show a full view of each of these 4 stations. The Marco Polo Station is part of the 80-hectare property of the province of Cebu. This station is expected to play a major role in providing mass transportation for Metro Cebu in the future. The province of Cebu has already won a Supreme Court ruling of this property that was leased by the Philippine military. Shown here is the location of the Marco Polo station at the edge of a 52-hectare lot that is now gradually being vacated by the military. This property is slightly bigger than the 77-hectare combined area of CBP and IT Park. It is expected to be a more modern commercial development. Sadly, it is surrounded by narrow roads that are already built up on both sides. Additionally, about 50% of the area is hilly. This makes it very difficult to service the area with a BRT or LRT. The only mode of mass transport that can likely service this area is an ART. This station can be an ART interchange that connects the residents of the hilly and flat portions of the city through other ART lines. Let us look at an example in the La Paz ART that will be similar to the proposed Marco Polo station. It currently has 10 lines that will soon be expanded by 14 lines. This multi-spoke Murillo interchange will be similar to the Marco Polo station. An actual example of this kind of ART interchange is the Murillo station in La Paz, which has 4 lines or spokes. This station was made big to take advantage of its higher passenger traffic. Furthermore, it has plans to build 3 more lines or spokes at this interchange for a total of 7. For this related example in Metro Cebu, the Marco Polo station may have 5 lines or spokes. The Cebu Business Park and the IT Park have the highest concentration of high-rise buildings in Metro Cebu. The traffic will worsen even more with the development of the 80-hectare Cebu Province lot. All these 3 parks cannot be reached by BRT or LRT because of its surrounding narrow roads, aside from being hilly. Both CBP and IT Park have numerous wide and well-designed 6 to 8 lane roads inside the parks. Yet, the roads surrounding the area are few and narrow 2 to 4 lane roads. The only mode that can provide mass transport through these parks is an ART. An ideal location for an ART station is this Marco Polo station, allowing bigger land for a bigger commercial center that will be integrated into the ART station. This will be a huge incentive for a proponent to finance the project. The next station at IT Park sits on a lot owned by the province of Cebu. This Subang Dako station sits on part of the 5-hectare lot owned by the Department of Transportation. This CICC station sits on a lot owned by the city of Mandaue beside the Cebu International Convention Center. An alternative will be to place the station inside the CICC complex that is owned by Mandaue. This earthquake and typhoon damaged building is subject for demolition. In a previous video, we have shown how the La Paz ART in Bolivia has integrated commercial establishments inside or outside its stations. We are going to show 4 more examples of the same integration applied in other ART systems located in other cities. Example number 1 is the Kish Mall in Iran. This is the alignment of the ART with an end station that is directly connected to the mall. The location of one of the ART stations is on top or on the 5th floor of the mall. These are 2 other photos of the station showing its location at the corner top of the mall. All the tens of thousands of passengers that will enter and exit the station daily will have to pass through the mall. This mall is as big as among the biggest malls of the SM Group in the Philippines. Example number 2 is the Cosmo Centro Mall in Cali, Colombia. It is one of the biggest malls in Cali, the 3rd biggest city in Colombia. an ART station is located beside the mall. This is a close-up satellite view of the mall. The ART station is an ART-BRT interchange terminal. This is a zoomed-out view of the entire ART line and the ART station and mall beside it. In this view, you can see the boundary between social classes. On this side is a predominantly low to middle income group. On this side is a predominantly middle to high income group. The ART is provided only to the low to middle income group. Each of these 3 stations is served by multiple bus routes. This shows that ART is a great social equalizer. It can easily prioritize this mode of transport to serve the greater majority. It can traverse any terrain and fly over narrow roads which are difficult to traverse by BRT or LRT. Example number 3 is the ART station with terminal in Cambulos, Manizales. This is a frontal view of the ART terminal. Shown are taxis, buses, and other forms of public transport surrounding the terminal. There are commercial spaces inside the terminal. Example number 4 is the Manitas ART station in Bogota, Colombia. This station is located in a low-income neighborhood. Not all stations need a big land area with a big commercial component. This station is only 5,000 square meters. This is a satellite photo of the station in 2012. 10 years later, this is the satellite photo of the station in 2022. You can see dramatic improvements in the neighborhood when compared to what it was when there was no ART station. This is the drone view of the actual completed station. This is the ART station, and this is the commercial component. Residents in the neighborhood now have a very efficient mode of mass transport and a nice mini mall that is very accessible. Quality of life has enormously improved in this low-income neighborhood.